If you're enjoying these videos, subscribe. Let YouTube know that I'm doing a good job by subscribing to the channel. Plus, you'll get notified when I have new videos coming out. And finally, if you're enjoying what I'm doing, give it a like. Just click on that thumbs up, and that way YouTube knows that you like it, and they'll pass it along to other people that might enjoy my content as well. I really appreciate it. Thank you again. Let's get started.
Hello mga ka-agri friends! Welcome sa Green Mana Aquaponic Farms. Dali, dayan mo! Hi! Ako ngalan si Omar Tubong Banwa. Akong background is aviation. Pero way back 2016, naka-interest ko sa farming. It was just a simple YouTube video. And then from there, ay nahinay ko research. And it turned out nga na ay usa ka video sa feed nako about aquaponics. I don't know what happened next, but I got hooked on this on the topic. Nag-research ko, nag-study po, and then it took me about 4 years siguro, about 3 to 4 years until na materialize na nga dream. And then karon niya sa atong greenhouse, Green Mana Aquaponic Farms, na tuman ra gyud ang damgo nga akong nasugdan way back 4 years ago. Nagsugod ni ang first operation, nagsugod way back I think August 2019. Wala pa tay fish, wala pa tay plants, pero recirculate ng tubig. Gibutangan lang ako kanang a little bit of ammonia, which is a good practice sa aquaponics, to encourage the good bacteria. And then few months after that, I introduced the fish. Few months after the fish was introduced, ang plants nagsugod. Di pa gyud perfect, and it's still a work in progress, but we're getting there. Within fact, last March to April, May, March, April, May, if you were here, kining tulo ka grow beds, puno ni siya o kining 7 varieties of lettuce, and it was a good start. And nagsugod na po mag-harvest the fish, and after karon we decided on a full-scale production. What is aquaponics? Aquaponics is a coined word na gi-derive sa aquaculture and hydroponics. Aquaculture is a science or a branch of agriculture nga nag-grow sila mga fishes, and hydroponics is also a branch of horticulture nga nag-grow sila mga plants without using soil, but they use hydro or tubig. Unya ang aquaponics gikuha na niya on both the strength of both system, gikuha na niya naghimog aquaponics. On the top of my head, siguro na duha ka reasons nganong importante ang aquaponics. The first one is food purity. The second one is food security. talking about food purity, siguro kabalo naman ta nga kalabanan nga sa mga pagkaon atong makitaan sa atong grocery stores, grocery shops. Daghan na og mga fertilizers, daghan og mga pesticides nga gisagol diha, gi-spray diha. Within fact, kung tanaw na to ang back sa label sa food carton nato, may daghan din mga ingredients nga wata kasabot kung asa tugikan, E4, E16C or whatever it is. I myself doesn't want to put that in my body. Aquaponics solved that problem. I mean, it may not be able to solve 100%, but it will help solve the problem of food purity. Because aquaponics, fertilizers and pesticides is a complete no-no. Once you do that sa aquaponics, kung kay mga insect infestation and then you spray them, once you do that, once you break that rule, ang unang mamatay ang imong isda. And it took you months aron ma-stabilize ang nutrient system sa imong tubig. You don't certainly want to break the rule of aquaponics nga fertilizers, synthetic fertilizers, pesticides is a no-no yun. The second reason nga nung important ang aquaponics is that because of food security. Nasayod man ta nga most people nowadays ga-rely sa food source, gikan sa mga food sources, farm ba or sa mga commercial farms or something, local farms or commercial farms. Kunya it took days siguro to track their food ngadto silang grocery stores, ngadto silang food table. And what do you think would happen kung naay something nga maka disturb sa food traffic, let's say natural disasters or political upheavals or bagyo ba or storms? Sa research ganing karon ilang ingon nga an average family has only 3 days worth of food na naa silang storage, some even less than that. And what would happen if the food source will be cut off? Kung naa kay farm kugalingon nimo, kung naa kay garden imong kugalingon, that will help solve the problem of food security. Pero kung naa kay aquaponics, the same land area sa traditional agriculture, traditional farming, you can even solve the food security problem even in a much better level, because you can grow more food sa aquaponics, you can grow more variety of plants in aquaponics. Ang disadvantage, and not really, ang weakness sa aquaponics, the way I see it, is ang gasto sa kuryente. The reason behind is because aquaponics is, ang circulation niya is run by pumps. We have fishes nga nanginahanglan og hangin, so kinahanglan tag air pump ana. And to run these machines, basically we need a good source of electricity. There is a green man aquaponic farms naatay solar panels nga makatabang og lower sa cost sa electricity. Dili pa gyud kayo katong dagko nga panels mo among aim, pero ga inahinay mi nga at least we can be able to at least eradicate the cost of electricity of our monthly bills. Ang second weakness po sa aquaponics is that since this is run by, it is circulated by mechanical machines, motors, water motor pumps, air motor pumps, dili ka pwedeng you take your eyes off from these machines even for an hour. I'm saying that as a cliche. The point I'm saying that is because ang fish, they cannot last 30 minutes without air or without circulation. Naay ammonia build-up, naay nitrite build-up, and it will poison the fish. And sooner or later, especially if you have high stocking density, manglutaw ganyan mga isda, and it's not good for your investment. So as an operator, as an aquaponic operator, kinahanglan hands-on kagyod. Kung dili magani, kung kinahanglan ka mulakaw, at least lang kay bilinan nga magbantay sa these machines to run efficiently 24/7 non-stop. The biggest challenge nga ako na-encounter was during the construction phase. Ang reason man gud is na ako sa abroad nagtrabaho pa, and then it was some kind of a virtual management. So the virtual management was a challenge. Instead of mahuman ang construction siguro in a matter of a few months or less than a year, it went on for more than a year. Actually 1 year and 5 months, 1 year and 4 months. So that was one of the biggest challenge. Another biggest challenge is to look for somebody who can help me with the project. Ang reason magodiha is because aquaponics is new to the community, and there is not much people who has the technical skill about the system. Makatabang na ako inputs, makatabang na ako brainstorm, something like that. So that was one of the biggest challenge. There is a farm na to. We have 10 8 cubic meter fish tanks. Ang yung volume niya is 8 cubic meter. Ang size niya is 10 feet ang diameter. 4 feet, approximately 4 feet ang length, ang depth. Ang water depth, ang 4 feet ang tank depth. Ang water depth is mga 3 feet and 8 inches na siguro, roughly about 8 or 7 inches. And each tank ga-target may og stacking density of 80 to 85 kilograms per cubic meter. That would be materialized at the end of the month. Itaod na ang mga aerators to give an ample supply of air sa atong livestock pohon. Here, this is the powerhouse of our system. Every aquaponics system, both backyard and commercial base like this, same principle applies. Ang powerhouse, ang power source nimo is your fish tank. Muna nga imo na atimanon imong fish, kay sila mo atiman sa plants. The plants will clean the water back to the fish. So ganiya, nakita ninyo nga pagkaon na tong isda, because ang feed i-convert na sa isda into siyempre ilan ang i-digest. 80% na is manggawas raman na, 20% sa feed ilang i-retain sa body, which will be turned into body fat or body mass. The rest of that, which is roughly about 80%, will go straight to their anus, to their excretes or kato siya, which is commonly known as fish poop. Imo na siyang i-digest. We call it biodigestion. I-digest mo na sa tubig, i-dissolve mo na sa tubig. That will be turned into nitrates. Well, it's a nitrification process first, so nitrites and then nitrates. And the nitrates is the feed or the food for the plants, which will make your plants grow big, faster, and bigger compared to soil-based planting. Ang source sa tubig na to is directly from in this farm. Ang source sa tubig is deep well lang. Pero kung wala mo yung deep well, if you're planning to construct your own aquaponic systems, you can actually find any good source of water, either stream or river, as long as make sure lang nga dili siya hard water. Rainwater is one of the best source of aquaponic system, aquaponic farms. What I mean of hard water is that sa aquaponics man god, you are maintaining a pH value of 6 to 7. If you go beyond that range, either maglisod ka og operate or maglisod pod og kanang grow ang imong plants. The fish can take it, but the plants maybe mag-experience sila og nutrient lack. You grow between this range, this pH range of 6 to 7. Ang hard water is that it's constantly high. In the amount of time, naturally, ang water nimo maubos gyud ang iyang pH value. That's natural. Hard water dili gyud na siya. One reason is because na kay ang source nimo siguro puno og anapog. You are in a limestone country. So maglisod og naog ang pH. Kung mauna nga tubig ang imong gamiton, chances are apektado ang imong operation. Kung tanaw nimo sa system nato sa farm nato, natay duha ka klase nga pipes. Well, duha. One is water pipe and one is the for the air pipe. Talking about sa water pipe, natay duha ka color. Ang usa is red or orange, okay? And the other one is blue. The blue one is coming out from the clean water part. Gikan ni sa limpyo nga tubig nga nagpass by na sa filters. Kining orange, kining ilalom, mao ni siya ang drain gikan sa fish tanks. In fact, kung makita nimo diya sa imong kuan sa camera nimo, tanang orange pipes naglink na dito sa box filter nato. Especially sa large scale or commercial based aquaponics, you need a good amount of filtration. Now, kung sa backyard lang siguro, you don't probably need that kay naman kay plants, naman kay mga screen meshes that you can extract the fish waste out easily. Pero sa large scale like this one, imo ginang i-address ang filtration first, otherwise you will going to have a good amount of problem later sa imong fish and plants. So there are three basic filtration stages nga kinahanglan nimo i-address. The first one is, we call this one a settlement tank. A settlement tank is because the name itself, settlement, is because all the heavy solids nga na-extract gikan sa atong tangke, diri siya mag-settle diri sa ilalom. Ang shape ani niya is 12 feet ni siya, and then down to the bottom, and then about like dito sa ilalom is nag-cone siya bitaw. And because of the principle of gravity, everything that is heavier than the gravity itself will sink to the bottom. Unya dito na mo na i-collect na drain pipe sa ilalom, collect na mo na manually at least every day or twice a day depending on the feeding program. Now this is the box filter. The second one is the suspended solids. You need to address that as well. Kung nakuha na nimo ang heavy solids sa imong box filter, well and good, pero you need to address also the problem of the suspended solids. Karang suspended solids mao nay mga waste matter nga dili na sa maunlod, naara na sa imong tubig nimo, and it accumulates very fast. Now come with me, I'll show you the machine that will address that problem. Now this machine is the one that addresses the problem of suspended solids. Gitawag ni siya og drum filter, rotary drum filter. This mesh here is equivalent to 48 microns siguro. 48 microns. Kaya once ga-rotate ni siya, kaya siya clean water from the source, yang i-wash down ang kanang suspended solids nga na-trap sa ilalom. So dili ka sulod ang suspended solids nato dito sa atong plant, dito sa atong fish. Iyan ni siyang ipagawas sa atong system. Right now, nag-clean cycle ni siya, and it goes automatically, or usahay po manually, pwede na ito makuan siya ma-operate manually, pero most of the time it goes automatically. Na siya float switch nga mo trigger, mo automatic siya o self-wash para matrap ang suspended solids. The third waste nga ma-produce aquaponic system is ammonia. And it's very common. Kay ang atong isda ga-excrete na siya og tae, ga-excrete na siya og yang ihi, ga-excrete na siya og gill byproduct. And those three things, basically it will cause ammonium and ammonia. Well, kinahanglan to address that ammonia, kinahanglan na gyud kay good source of bacteria colony, because di man nimo na makuha sa any kind of filter, di man na makuha sa box filter, di man na makuha sa drum filter. Maka-extract sa ammonia is bacteria. You let nature work, and all we need to do is to give them a good house. Okay, this is K1 filter. Give them a good air, and they will do their thing. They will convert ammonia through nitrification process, and that will be food for the fish, food for the plant, sorry. That will be food for the plants. This one here is called a sump tank. A sump tank is where most of the surface water will drain here. Inside here are pumps. Kini nga pumps iyang ipasakan tubig gikan sa sump tank paingon dira sa header tank. Kining header tank na to, all you need to do is to distribute the water back to the fish. Dire wala na ammonia dire. Wala na heavy solids, wala na suspended solids. Wala masiguro pero gamay na lang kayo. So ang blue pipes mubalik na dito sa fish tank na to. Some of it, kining smaller pipes will go dire sa atong grow bed, which is nutrient na kining nutrient rich na for the fish, for the plants na to. Now dirita sa plant side, we have 3 grow beds. Kining side, kining row din. This is the black rose lettuce variety. Actually, lettuce has many varieties. One of that is called black rose. And this one here, let me pick up one. This is, as you can see, the healthy root system. This is 20-day old nga seedling. Gi-propagate ni gikan sa seedling area na to. Gi-germinate ni dito, and then we waited for about roughly 25 to 28 days then before it will be transplanted here. In this farm we have 7 varieties of lettuce. We have we grow them in a staggered basis. From every day we put in those 7 varieties, and then right there at the end, as you can see, we also harvest every day. But right now we clean pa namo ni among beds namo because we are preparing for a new set of batches, for a new set of varieties. Dayon, right over there we have an experiment bed which we experiment also cucumbers, okra, tomatoes, and also melon, and it turned out quite good. And we are also thinking of producing it by, like a mass production, hopefully by the end of this month or probably next month, and we'll see. Usa sa mga routine sa greenhouse, just like farming, is the care and maintenance. Dito sa atong greenhouse, although gipalibutan ng screen ng atong greenhouse, napagyapo yung mga insekto nga makasulod. So how we address that is employing this simple fly trap. It's an insect trap which will eventually trap those unwanted pests sa greenhouse nga later will harm our plants. And another one is kung naay mga bugs nga dili matrap dire, naay makasulod dire sa atong planting site, is we use the old method called terricide. We simply terrace the insect. We do not apply pesticides here. It's a complete no-no. For now, we start with lettuce. The reason why is because lettuce is a dili ka siya kuti atimanon when it comes to growing on water. And aside from that is pas-pas po ang yield sa lettuce. Dali mo sa harvest within 28 to 30 days after transplant, pwede na mo na sa babaligya. And it's also, what's this? It's also common sa, especially sa restaurants or sa hotels. But aquaponics or hydroponics is not limited to lettuces alone. Actually, most plants can be grown here except for root crops. And we all know what root crops is. Root crops are plants that yield their fruit below the ground. Basically, we do not apply that here sa atong growing beds. Sa growing beds nato where there is water underneath, we can grow most plants that you can think of. Dire, ang pinakabarato nga source of ang pinakabarato nga material nga magamit nato for planting kinamtas tubig is styrofoam. Mutana mo kung safe ba ni siya or kuan safe man po. Many aquaponic growers and even hydroponic growers uses styrofoam as long as you choose the good material, you choose the good the right styrofoam source. Kinaiban nga kanang dali ra madugmok, and if you leach on the water, it might poison your fish, something like that. So use a good styrofoam. So basically sa material na to, kinahanglan mo og net pot. Ang net pot ninyo is where your plant, your seedling would be. You put a good amount of media in there. It could be coco coir or coco peat or some vermicast in there para nasa gamayng foundation, para nasa strong foundation while gamay pa siya. Roots basically will find its way to the water. Kanya, just put it right there. Let nature do its work. After 28 days to 30 days, that's gonna be ready for harvest. But in fact, kung ato ni embryon, kini siya, it was just transplanted. When was that? 4 days ago. As you can see, the root system is starting to show. That's how fast it is. Once the seedling senses nitrate in the water, it will just kick off and ready to grow. That's how nature works. Usa sa mga benefits nga mahatag sa aquaponics is that dili na gyud ka mamunglay. There's no weeding, magbasok, because everything is grown on you know, on a clean bed. Wala sa yuta. Basically, ang plants will be free from weeds. So bunglay, basok, weeding is ma-eradicate na gina kung ma-eradicate na gina sa aquaponic system. This batch of lettuce has been here for about 28 days, 29, 30 days ago, depending sa row niya. And sa rules sa lettuce growing, it's about time for the lettuce to be harvested during that amount of time. Kay if you go beyond that, basig pait na ang lettuce, basig lahi na ang taste, and that's not good to the customers na. So as an aquaponic operator, you need to address that right away. You need to be very keen on that. Here is roughly about let's say 100, 200, 150 to 200 grams siguro niya. We have clean, fresh, that we take care properly without pesticides, without any harmful fertilizers, and that's ready for their consumption. Healthy. Moni among ato ang nursery area, nursery house. Dire nato gina-germinate ang ato ang mga seedling. Kini siya mo ni ato ang seedling tray. There are 256 cells in each of the tray. Square na siya. Kanya this is 11 days. Kini siya is a crush coco coir na siya. Inyo lang siya nga ayagon para dili maapili mga inani. natay ang among paagid is ginaayag namon ni siya, tapos ginasagura namo og kanang vermicast para 50% vermicast and then 50% nako-acquire. It's not much compared to soil-based planting, pero mo kick off naman gud ang seeds once naabot na dito sa transplant media nato sa grow bed. Dito na siya ma-absorb as much as nutrients as can. Therefore now this is good as long as na lang siya a good foundation sa iyang roots before i-transplant siya dito sa grow beds. For those who are interested sa aquaponic type of farming, I can assure you nga it's not it's not like a Garden of Eden thing that wala kay trabaho nun. It's still farming. Yes, you will have to work, because that's how farming is. You have to work. But what I can assure you is that it's a very fulfilling type of farming, and it's the easy way of farming. And another way, and I mean another reason it's fulfilling is because you don't only produce one crop. You don't only produce two crops, but you produce multiple crops at the same time, while enjoying your time taking care of the fish. You also, you also make profit for the fish. For those who are aspiring to operate an aquaponic farms, I say that you go for it. It might be a little challenging at first. It's like what I had before, pero once you get past of that challenging stage, I'm telling you, it's a very fulfilling hobby. And for those who are interested in eating, or I would say acquiring pure, clean food that is well taken care of, I encourage you to log on to our Facebook page, Green Mana Aquaponic Farms, and stay tuned for more updates, and stay tuned for harvests, and I'll see you there. And we wish to see you, mga ka-agri friends, as well. Thank you.